And you'd think, wouldn't you, that Millwall really have to go for it to try to establish an advantage in this second half, bearing in mind Leeds United's fearsome home record currently. And straight away, they've given the ball away. Boulder protesting to the referee why, I don't know. Looked an authentic enough kick-off. And nothing much has come of it anyway, because Craig, the skipper, has mopped it all up with that header away. Strange start to the half, Trevor.
Yes, it appeared that Millwall weren't fully concentrated. It's something that they have done actually very well in this first half, because their back four have been very concentrated against the threat of Becchio in Beckford. But you just feel, as I mentioned in the first half, the longer this game goes on, so the midfield four of Leeds United, who are four very good technicians, will start to have a little bit more space and time on the ball.
Henry's first involvement is to gain a corner, deflected off Ben Parker. Leeds United, I'm sure, will regard it as satisfactory work and progress so far. But what have Millwall got in store for them in the second half here? Attacking this end where their most rabid fans are gathered, looking for an early breakthrough right at the start of the second half here. Here's the corner kick by Henry. Harris flicked it on. It's come out here to Boulder. Leeds United tenacious. Snodgrass doing very well again there. And they're looking for the fast break, but the passing wasn't accurate enough. Reminder that 3 players were booked in the first half: Snodgrass, Martin and Delph. Dunn playing it forward, the right back, who's served 7 managers with this club. And again, possession being squandered rather too easily. Craig goes long, asks Alexander to make something of nothing, really. There's Henry again. Looked like handball by Alexander, and there were only about 13,000 witnesses. And he's got 13 goals this season, Gary Alexander. He's a London boy who started life in the West Ham United Academy. Johnny Howson with the header forward. Beckford tries to find Becchio. Good touch from Beckford, wasn't it? Becchio back to Beckford again! Terrific move from Leeds United, perhaps the move of the match so far.
It certainly was, but between Whitbread and Frampton, this is an excellent challenge as the Becchio comes in from Becchio. Is it Whitbread? Is it Frampton? Between them, they deny Beckford just about to swing with his left foot.
Yep, great work from the Millwall defenders as well there at the end of that. And that was a piece of invention between the two hotshot strikers. Snodgrass with the corner kick. Again, Millwall getting those blue shirts to the ball first. There's Robert Snodgrass again. He's a tricky customer. He's having a lively game here.
He certainly looks more comfortable, doesn't he, on that left-hand side where he's operating at the moment. Gets the opportunity now to cross it with his left foot, doesn't put it in, and then puts it through the legs of Henry, drawing the free kick.
New name to English football this season, Robert Snodgrass, arrived from Livingston in Scotland. His free kick as well now. Towards the near post, out to only half cleared. Delph back in again, ping-pongs around and goes for another corner.
This is good early pressure from Leeds. Poor clearance from Abdu. Shot is snatched, falls to Frampton. Good defensive header, goes for a corner. And more pressure now from Leeds.
The referee wanting a word with Frampton and Sojay about some argy-bargy as the ball was in mid-air. Snodgrass again. And well played by the Irish goalkeeper David Ford. It's Kilkenny. Snodgrass again. Up towards Becchio. Howson scored twice in the semi-finals last season. Johnny Howson in the away leg at Carlisle, including a dramatic last-minute winner, which has kind of gone down in Leeds folklore, that goal. Unfortunately, they lost at Wembley. Martin. That's cleverly worked. Frampton. Nice piece of work this by Millwall, and the whistle's gone already. Flag was up.
That was unfortunate for Millwall, because that was a clever little ball, this, from Martin between the two Leeds players. Picks out Frampton.
He was given offside. Looked a close one. But a couple of eye-catching pieces of creativity from both sides at the start of this second half. Douglas with the up and under, really, for Beckford, which is not really where he wants it. Henry, nice and lively. Of course, his parent club, Reading, in action later on against Burnley. See that live on Sky 2 later on in the Championship.
It's very tight, isn't it? Alexander doing the right thing, looking to get in behind the Leeds back four rather than constantly playing in front of them. Possibly went a second too early, but it was touch and go.
What happened with level and the advantage going to the attacking side, which was the original decree, wasn't it?
It doesn't apply in playoffs, apparently.
It doesn't happen. Howson took a blow there in mid-air, and because of that, Leeds United will get a free kick. It was Martin's challenge, and has already been booked. Good noise around the Docklands here now, with the big tower blocks of Canary Wharf in the not too far distance as this is played in. They couldn't take a chance with that. Craig just hoofed it away. His goalkeeper had given him no shout. Didn't look like that anyway. Snodgrass again. Becchio turned done very well, didn't he? Clever piece of play. And gets a free kick for the challenge, which is a bit on the clumsy side from Alan Dunn.
It's a clever little dummy, this. Flicked into him by Snodgrass, into the feet. He allows the ball to run across his body. Dunn a little bit too tight on him. And then he invites the challenge, and over goes the Argentinian for a free kick.
Richard Naylor's come up from the back here, useful in the air. Here's the cross, Becchio! Couldn't really grow tall enough to head it goalwards.
Well, he gets in well behind Whitbread, finds himself a yard of space, but couldn't direct the header downwards. A good movement from Becchio.
Look so cool, don't they? A lot of these managers in the playoffs. Roberto Di Matteo last night I was looking at. Looked like he was out shopping. Trying to look philosophical anyway. It's not always easy, Trevor.
It's not, but you have to try and remain calm, because your players are looking closely at you. However you're feeling, and I'm sure they're nervous inside, you can't transmit that to the players. If they see you nervous, it reflects badly on them.
Henry places it. Whitbread had a chance. Got his boot to it. Ankergren's not happy about something there and goes complaining to the referee. That's why.
What a clearance that is. So brave diving in there with Solje.
Henry plays it in again. Zach Whitbread was closing in maybe to give Millwall the lead there. Here's Dave Martin. Harris with a brilliant flick. Still might be something for Millwall. Oh, Neil Harris. Well, he deserved better. That was brilliant, really.
Great bit of improvisation here from Neil Harris. Flick with the outside of his right foot. And what a fantastic save that is from Ankergren. Sees it late, Soji's blocking his view, extends his right hand, turns it around the post. Already the second half, after 55 minutes, is far, far more entertaining than the first 45 minutes. This really is a game of football now. Both teams are looking to try and win the game.
And the Millwall fans have really come to life now that their team are attacking this favoured end. They believe something might happen, and Neil Harris nearly came up with his 117th and perhaps most important goal for the club there. Great piece of work. Henry plays it in again, good area, no one to attack it. By the way, that effort by Harris was their first chance actually on target, Millwall. And what are we, 55 minutes in now? Kilkenny across to Douglas. Different feel about this now, isn't there? He's suddenly really turbocharged the atmosphere, whereas the first half was all anxiety and mistakes. This really feels like a big playoff semi-final now. Millwall were playing in the FA Cup final this time of year 5 years ago against Manchester United during Dennis Wise's tenure. They even reached Europe, played Ferencváros. Here's Henry, seems to have made a difference. Went past Parker, and the cross was a real disappointment.
This is encouraging for Millwall. Good chest control. He actually goes past Parker quite easily. And no real pressure. He should have delivered a much better ball than that.
They're playing quite narrow in the midfield in the first half, with Laird, who sometimes is deployed as a central midfielder, nominally the furthest wide right, but now they've got an authentic winger out there in Henry, with Martin on the other side as well, looking to stretch Leeds down the flanks, perhaps open them up. Harris again, very good work to find Alexander. Goes down in the box, falls to Henry. Can Harris get onto it? It's smuggled away by Kilkenny. This is a rougher ride for the Leeds defence now. Frampton up to Henry again. Challenged on the edge of the box. Fair enough, says the referee.
Well, Soji certainly risked all there with that challenge, but to be fair to him, he did make contact with the ball.
Alexander. Chance of a shot. Wide of the post from the leading scorer.
And once again, he'll be disappointed with the effort. He gets himself a nice yard of space here. Clever little foot over, and then under no pressure again, he snatches at it. But certainly the last 5 minutes, with a crowd right behind them, this is a great response from Millwall after Leeds. It opened up very brightly at the start of the second half.
Manager Simon Grayson has been ill over the last 2 or 3 days and hasn't gone anywhere near the players for fear of spreading the infection. He's okay today to take his place on the bench, but he's been letting Ian Miller and Glenn Snowden do most of the work on the training ground over the last couple of days at least. Delph looking to chip one up for Beckford. Snodgrass has returned to the right-hand flank as well now. Leeds mixing and matching a little. It's a difficult bounce here for Whitbread to deal with. Becchio looking to make him pay. And he's done well, the Leeds man. Here is Robert Snodgrass again. Frampton, well done. Good recovery. Still Snodgrass. Kilkenny wanted it on the edge of the box. He was in space too. And maybe that was the better option. Millwall free kick. Fever pitch now, isn't it? The atmosphere here.
I think as an away manager, You're always searching when you come to the new den for a very strong referee. One that's not intimidated by these fantastic home supporters here, who are putting the referee under enormous pressure. Every time that ball goes in Leeds penalty box, they're shouting for a penalty.
And we have to report gladly as well, despite some of the build-up you might have read to the game and the big security operation, no sign of trouble from either sets of fans so far. Let's hope we can still say that at the end of the day. Wall of noise now from the Millwall fans as Zach Whitbread brings it away. Both sides endeavouring to keep the ball a little better, the game a little more stretched. Now then, Beckford looking to break onto this. What a good piece of work by Tony Craig.
He's been excellent all afternoon, Tony Craig. As that ball was played in behind Whitbread, you could see that he was in trouble. Beckford got the legs on him, but across came his defensive partner with a great interception.
Harris rather snatched at it on the turn. He might have had a little more time than he realised.
Well, that's not great defensive play from Leeds. You must deal with that first ball. Sojay doesn't win the header, and as a result of that, just like at the other end, he puts his back four under immediate pressure.
I think everybody here is in on the plot. 0-0 wouldn't be the end of it for Millwall, but it would be a great result for Leeds to take back to Ellen Road. But there's still the best part of half an hour of football left in this. Plenty can happen. Whitbread, the American defender, doing well. And Leeds with an American striker, Mike Greller, on the bench as well. Kilkenny. Beckford did well, looks to Ben one. Classy piece of work.
Good play between the youngsters, Kilkenny and Beckford. Kilkenny finds Beckford, who comes off his centre-half, through the legs of Whitbread, gets himself a yard of space. Try to curl it with his right foot. That's clever play from Beckford. Under no pressure. Should be hitting the target. He has got good ability, Ian, and a player with such ability would expect to hit the target on that occasion.
He certainly did hit the target twice when these two sides met at Ellen Road in Leeds United's 2-0 win. Here's Alexander, very positive in this second half. Millwall, whatever Kenny Jackett said at half-time, seems to have really brought them to life, and the introduction too of the creative influence of Henry, who's on the ball now. Does well, makes a cross out of nothing really. Ankergren was at full stretch, comes out to Martin, flicks it back towards Alexander, too long for him. But what a fine cross by the substitute Henry again. Beckford. Kilkenny picks it up again. Now Beckford again, he's the villain of the piece as far as the Millwall fans are concerned. They'll remember his elbow on goalkeeper David Ford at Ellen Road, which earned a 3-game ban eventually. That's probably what all that's about. Just a feeling that something has to give at the moment, perhaps. Bowler. Frampton.
Just look how high up the field Frampton is in this second half. Really went over the halfway line during that first half, but obviously the onus is on Millwall to try and be more offensive.
Well, Leeds are complaining loud and long there that an advantage rule was not played, because although Becchio was fouled, the counter-attack was very seriously on.
Well, his body checked him, stopped him from going anywhere. I can't believe that the referee hasn't yellow carded him for that.
And why didn't he play the advantage? Because they had a good situation going there, Leeds. I know that Kilkenny was complaining loudly to the referee about that. Having brought the play back, Boulder got away with it a little bit perhaps there. Maybe it was a first offence or something like that as far as the referee was concerned. Here's Harris, nice turn from him, and a very good ball too to find Henry. What can Millwall come up with this time? This time Parker wins the battle. Beckford.
Well, the game's certainly got stretched now, hasn't it, Ian?
Much better game and spectacle.
That space that I was talking about is there now. If you can play, you've got the opportunity to get the ball down and start making one or two passes without players coming to press you as quickly as they did in the first hour of the game.
No goals, but chances in the second half. 25 minutes to go. Craig won the header. Here's Becchio. Didn't get the touch he was looking for. Jermaine Beckford. Beckford was actually on Chelsea's books as a boy. And then here's Harris again. And trying to make a point to his boss for the second leg and a starting place, and he'll probably get one anyway because the price of that hamstring injury looks like certainly a longer job than 6 days. And the playoffs continue tomorrow. Bury leading Shrewsbury by a 1-0 with home advantage. Sky Sports 3 from noon and HD3. And also Gillingham 0-0 with Rochdale for the second leg. 6:30 Sky Sports 1 and available too in high definition. That's all in League 2. Here in League 1, no breakthrough yet for either side between Millwall and Leeds United, but a much more exciting second half. And here's Snodgrass. Parker. Becchio again, first test of the playoffs for him, the Argentinian. Looks a bit like Claudio Caniggia, doesn't he, with that long blonde hair, and from Argentina too. The old Argentinian World Cup player. I think you were with Caniggia, weren't you, this week, Trevor?
Yes, bumped into him, well, last week actually, to be precise, over in Spain, and he was a player, Caniggia. A bit more pace, didn't he, than Becchio? Played till he was 35, he was telling me.
Scoring a winner against Brazil in the World Cup, and Italy beautifully taken, typically. It's Sajay's long ball, shouldn't be a problem for Millwall. Craig is in his third spell with the club. When he re-signed, he said he was coming home, and the Millwall fans, I think, like that. Henry. Sajay getting distance on his header. He's a bit of a playoff veteran, Sam Sajay, one way and another. Have Leeds United weathered the Millwall post-half-time storm? Possession surrendered. Simon Grayson won't want. Nothing that time for Millwall. Leeds United, I'm sure, will believe with the goal power they have, they could always just sneak a goal as well with a bit of class on the counter at some point. In the last few months, only Leicester have stopped them scoring. And that's a foul on Craig. He made his debut for the club when Mark McGee was the manager. 1 or 2-6 then. Abdu. Last 20 minutes. Work to do here for Jonathan Douglas, who's settled into his usual solid performance after one or two nervy moments earlier on. Played in the Premier League for Blackburn Rovers. Jonathan Douglas, central midfield player, of course. Here's Delph. Abdu getting it away, and doing more than getting it away, because Gary Alexander latches onto this. Waiting in the middle was Harris, who's got a chance here. Neil Harris for Millwall has scored! Mr. Millwall does it for Millwall! With 20 minutes remaining, and how priceless is that? His first ever playoff goal.
Great finish from Harris. But a defensive error from Richard Naylor enabled him to take possession of the box. Alexander gets in behind the fullback, and the key to this is one touch in early. Richard Naylor makes a horrible mess of it. Harris still has a lot to do. He's one-on-one against the fullback, Douglas. But he steadies himself, moves the ball, and then strikes it firmly past the goalkeeper. A real goal scorer's attempt this is. Good finish from Neil Harris.
His 11th of the season, and he scored 2 against Leeds in the league victory here by 3-1. They're getting sick of the sight of him. Not in the starting lineup, off the bench, and with a goal that sparked a mini, and I must say peaceful, mini crowd invasion from some delighted Millwall supporters who are back in their place now. But what a massive goal that might be.
Well, often goals come from defensive errors, and unfortunately for Leeds United, Richard Naylor, who's been very solid with Sodje all afternoon, made a real hash of that cross from Alexander.
The goalkeeper was off his line, and Delph thought he'd have a go from inside his own half, looking to do a Pele stroke David Beckham. Not to mention Mr. Alonso of Liverpool. Now then, Henry, if Millwall get another, it really will be advantage the Lions going into that second leg. Play towards Snodgrass. Now, will Leeds United's instincts be to try to retrieve this, or do they take the view that they can get a 1-goal deficit back on Thursday night? Trevor, there was a feeling about this second half that something might give, and it has. Away by Craig, no nonsense anywhere or do, out of harm's way, please. Harris, though, not for the first time, the Millwall hero.
But strangely, you know, Ian, the goal came after Leeds had absorbed 10 minutes of real good pressure from Millwall. The crowd were really up. All of a sudden, there was a low in the noise, and that's when Millwall struck.
And it just looked like a sort of hacked clearance from Abdu, which set it all up, but it turned into a wonderful ball for Alexander, and the rest is now recent history.
I'm not sure exactly what Naylor was attempting to do. I think he was trying to head it. It was too low to head the ball. Straightforward clearance that normally 9 times out of 10 he would have dealt with.
Now then, this is a test of Leeds United's nerve after everything that's happened to them in their recent past. A story well chronicled of their decline from the Premier League, missing a return to the Premier League in a playoff final against Watford, then being relegated from the Championship to this division. Last season, the automatic promotion denied them by a heavy points fine, and now in a bit of trouble here at Millwall in this semi. Comes out the Boulder. Yes, Henry again. He certainly has made a difference. Been a good change that by Kenny Jackett.
It has, because what it's done is it's given Millwall that extra bit of width, and it's really stretched the Leeds back four. Parker was able to defend quite narrow to his centre-halves in the first half, hasn't been able to do that in the second half. He's had somebody directly against him, and as a result of that, it's provided a little bit more space for Alexander and Harris.
Millwall produced a splendid performance here against one of the sides who were automatically promoted, Peterborough, a few weeks ago when we showed them live on Sky. There's plenty of football over the two legs in this tie left, quarter of an hour left in this one. They want a second goal here, and well, Frampton was up from the back and attacking that one.
Great ball in from Henry, this. Plenty of pace. Look at the way Frampton attacks that. Despite the attention of Soje, he was quite fearless. He had his eye on that ball, he went after it. He couldn't quite direct it on goal.
Soje's hurt. And he's struggling a bit with that, isn't it? It looks like he's holding his shoulder. But it wasn't Soje who had the problem, it was Naylor when the goal came. This is Frampton looking to follow up. No dislocation. Looks like he's going to be okay to continue. Millwall rehydrate. Leeds United are going to make a change. They're going to bring on Bradley Johnson, I think, and take off Johnny Howson. It's Leeds United change, which is taking a little time. Bradley Johnson, who did appear at Wembley last season against Doncaster Rovers, and largely on the fringe of the side this season. Dolph is Parker. Getting late. Millwall, a goal to the good. Second leg next Thursday at what will be a seething Elland Road. It's a pretty seething den at the moment. Millwall on the way to their first ever win in any playoff match. Abdu. He thought it was worth a stab. Leeds are thinking about bringing on Andy Robinson, the wide man, who was left out of the starting lineup today. Whitbread with the big header for Millwall, who will be absolutely intent on making sure they have this advantage when they go to Yorkshire. Such is the security operation up there that their fans will be given vouchers and can only transfer them into tickets at a agreed point in the north on their way up. It's almost like a military operation, isn't it? Naylor getting it away. Hacked forward by Duff towards Beckford. They've managed to keep him quiet enough. Bradley Johnson couldn't control it. Abdu trying to get in Harris behind. And that's nothing doing for Leeds United.
Great run this from Alexander. He chests it, plays it in nice early. Well, he just totally misses the ball, doesn't he? attempts to head it. He could have probably chested it, but he certainly gave the opening to Harris, and he wasn't going to turn down that kind of opportunity. A real predator in the penalty box. Hasn't had too many opportunities, but that one he took very clinically.
It's a very rare error from the normally dependable Richard Naylor, who's had a fine season for Leeds United. Now here's Kilkenny. Can they bite back? Beckford. Made it into Snodgrass, who overran it. Millwall getting players back in numbers, as you would expect, to hold on to this lead. But do they stick or twist? Last 10 minutes here at the Den. The Millwall fans in full voice. And we stress again, the crowd impeccably behaved thus far. Whitbread. Bradley Johnson's back header nearly let in Henry. Parker just about won it. He's still under pressure, Ben Parker here. And still under pressure. Kept his cool, and in the end, the foul goes Leeds United's way. And they've come out with a very positive attitude in the second half, Millwall, and they've got their reward with a Neil Harris goal. It was the 117th of a Millwall career, which started some 12 seasons ago. Did have a little spell at Nottingham Forest along the way. Now Andy Robinson, who was promoted last season with Swansea, looking for a second successive promotion from this division, will come onto the right-hand side. On his day, a match-winning player, Robinson. Bradley Johnson won the header, couldn't quite find Becchio. Kilkenny long. Here's Douglas, but the bounce was a bit too difficult, and Martin. This time Naylor does get it back to Kasper Ankergren. Stays like this, it will be Millwall's first ever playoff win. I'm sure their fans are saying to me, don't say that. And it would be Simon Grayson's first ever defeat in a playoff game, the Leeds manager, as player or manager. But there's still 7 minutes for all that to change. Maybe a bit more with the added time, of course. There's Parker. Now Gary Alexander. Would Millwall settle for this, do you think, Trevor?
I don't know about settle for it, but what they'll be very much guarding against is actually losing a goal. But I think 1-0, they'll be more than happy with this.
Well, they're more than in the tie, aren't they? Going to Ellen Road with a little lead to defend.
Well, all the ties are very much up for grabs, aren't they?
Craig's header nearly let in Becchio. Whitbread, his defensive partner, was there to help him out. Thanks, mate, he says, I think, for that one. And the Millwall fans don't want to give Jonathan Douglas the ball. And get a little ironic applause from the player as a result of that. Pointless gesture, really, because the referee's going to add it all on. Here's Douglas. Now Robinson. Kilkenny. Boulder happy to hack it away. There'll be some tired legs now. But some concentrated minds, you'd think. Naylor's clearance was charged down. Harris plays it in. Now then, can Millwall come up with something? Here is Henry again. Soje got a good block in. A vital one, twice running, in fact.
Well, Solskjaer definitely got his partner out of trouble then. Naylor overlapping in possession of ball. Millwall, 3 players in advanced areas, but 2 good blocks from Solskjaer.
This early ball from Henry, it's come out to Abdu. Millwall in hunt of a second goal here, but this one is way over the top in the end from David Martin. Well, he's not going to panic about it if it does turn out to be a 1-0 defeat. Simon Grayson, that's for certain, but it certainly wasn't in Leeds' pre-match script, that Neil Harris goal. Naylor gets the header in. Leeds United fans will remember that they were in trouble after the first leg against Carlisle last season, pulled it round. Cool piece of play by Harris. His experience has been vital as well in their attacking work here. He's been clever, linking it up well there as well. Here he is again, Harris to Alexander. Millwall rather surrender possession. Kilkenny, who rarely does it to Douglas, is pushing forward from his right-back role now. Can Leeds get a valuable equaliser? Yes, Harris again. Martin. It's a careless ball, really. But maybe forgivable this late. First half, Millwall looked as if they were firing darts at the side of a mountain, couldn't create a thing. Second half, different story, Trevor.
Yes, it's been a very open half, the second half. Much more enjoyable, chances at either end. But the guy who's made the difference is the vastly experienced Neil Harris. Didn't start the game, but he's certainly left his mark on this game. He's done what nobody else has been able to do. And that's stick the ball in the back of the net. It's been some outstanding defensive performances, Ian, but he's the difference.
Used to work in a Japanese bank. That's a pretty hazardous line of business these days as well, Neil Harris, before becoming a revered professional footballer in these parts. I think if the Millwall fans could have chosen one man to get the goal, it would have been Harris. You heard the reception when he came on. Coming up towards the end of normal time. No word about how much added time there will be here. There'll be 90 minutes of added time at Ellen Road, of course. Which Leeds United are mighty happy about. Now then, they get a free kick here. Kilkenny wants to take it quickly. Still got it with Becchio. Now Delph. There for Dunn to do, which he did superbly, but Leeds United conceded the free kick, and Millwall will take their time taking it as well now.
Illegal use of the arm, wasn't it, from Delph? I don't think it was intentional, but it certainly eases the pressure. Leeds just coming back into it then, but at the moment, Millwall, they look pretty good value, don't they, for this 1-0 lead?
Well, they've given it a second half push, and they've got the goal to show for it as well. There will be 4 minutes of added time, I can confirm now. Nobody so far in their playoffs establishing a decisive first half lead. This is on the way to being the first home win of the playoffs in any of the divisions this season. If Millwall can hold it, they're on the attack with Henry. That's gone out of play. Goal kick. It's all set up for a titanic battle, isn't it? Up at Ellen Road next Thursday night, this. Now then, Martin taking on Douglas. No free kick. It's a careless ball out of the defence by Leeds. They haven't managed to hold on to the ball too well in the second half. Now there's a free kick, which gives Millwall a chance to knock in another high ball and cause a bit of damage. Is Whitbread going to come up from the back, or Frampton?
Well, that's what I was looking for. Are they going to settle for one? Are the two centre-halves, Craig and Whitbread, going to come up? Well, at the moment, they're staying back on the halfway line with Beckford.
It's taken quickly and shot. You know why the referee wasn't happy with that, I have no idea. And I'm sure Millwall are kind of mystified as well. See anything wrong with that, Trevor?
Well, I can only assume that the referee had said to the players, don't take it until I blow my whistle. Can't quite understand why he was so pedantic there.
Yeah. Millwall's advantage, after all, isn't it? It's supposed to be anyway. Henry, catching practice for Ankergren. Not do with the header. Maybe one last attack for Leeds United. Can they come up with what would be a stunning equaliser? Jonathan Douglas chips it forward, away by Zach Whitbread. And anywhere will do for Millwall really now.
They've got a really good shape, haven't they, at the back, Millwall? Very well organised. Obviously, a lot of work on the training ground has come into this. Both full-backs, Dunn and Frampton, have done well, as have the two centre-halves, Craig and Whitbread. They've been, as a unit, excellent.
Sure, I saw a bloke splitting the image of Danny Baker there, big Millwall fan, dancing. Probably not him, and it's going to be a free kick here. Muscular challenge from Bradley Johnson. Frampton's up again, takes his time. These Millwall fans believe this might be their year after so many playoff heartaches. In 4 playoff campaigns, they've never so much as reached a final. Leeds have had their heartbreaks too, mind you. Laid in by Alexander. They can't afford to let in a second here, Leeds United. And there's no danger of that just for the moment, and this might be about it. We're up to the 4 minutes. Sure, the referee isn't going to allow too much more than that. Checks with both of his assistants and blows for full time. Bit of history for Millwall, thanks to their talisman, Neil Harris. The first time in 9 attempts that this club have ever won a playoff match. Second half pressure told. Neil Harris came up with the goal after a rare error from the defender for Leeds United, Richard Naylor. Celebrations here, a bit of an old Kent Road knees up going on because Millwall are ahead. They'll take a 1-0 lead to Ellen Road next Thursday. Leeds United will feel, I'm sure, that they can pull it back. But on the day, it's Millwall's day, and it's Neil Harris's day. They've beaten Leeds 1-0 here.
Playing in his